Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to talk about how to set up an IPsec connection between two PFsense firewalls. So we have two PFsense here. We have the first PFsense with the WAN address 192.168.161 and the second one with 192.168.162. And we want uh, to make an IPsec between these two firewalls so that the LAN or the servers in the LAN subnet of PFSense 1 are able to communicate with the servers in the LAN subnet of PFSense 2. The first thing we want to do is we're going to head to our first PFSense in 192.168.161. We're going to go to VPN IPsec tunnels and we're going to click on add P1. So in order to create an IPsec tunnel in PFSense, there are two phases. In phase 1, you define the WAN networks, the WAN address of this server or this firewall. So as you can see here, the interface is WAN and the WAN address of the second firewall you want to connect to. So here in the remote gateway section, we're going to enter the WAN address of the second PFSense, which is 192.168.162. And then here we are going in the pre-shared key section, we're going to generate a new pre-shared key. This key, we need to save it in a notepad because we are going to also type it in the second firewall, as the pre-shared key needs to be the same in both firewalls in order for the IPsec configuration to be successful. Now here in the encryption algorithm, I'm going to leave it as AES, but I'm going to increase the key length to 256 bits to increase security. And I'm going to leave the rest of the configuration settings as its default. I'm going to also add description here. Let's say this PFSense1. Now I'm going to save. I'm going to apply. And now we need to configure phase 2. So we're going to click on show phase 2 entries and I'm going to add phase 2, and here we define the LAN configuration. So here we're going to leave the mode as tunnel IP version 4 as is an IPsec tunnel connection, and in the network section our local network is our LAN subnet, which is in this situation is 10.0/24, and in the remote network it is the LAN subnet of our other PFSense, which is 20/24. So we're going to type here 20.0.0.0, and here in the encryption I'm going to choose AES 256 bits, and I'm going to save this configuration. Now we have finished the configuration on our first firewall. We're going to head to the second firewall and we're going to go to the same VPN IPsec. We're going to add phase 1 in the description PFSense2. We're going to select the remote gateway. This time it's gonna be the WAN address of our first firewall 192.168.161, and I'm going to choose the same encryption and same pre-shared keys that we have already stored. Now I'm going to save and add phase 2. I'm going to save as LAN 2, LAN local network, LAN subnet. We're going to use the same, and we're going to specify the LAN subnet of our first PFSense. Now after this, we're going to select the same encryption and we're going to save. Now after this, we're going to head to the first firewall. We're going to status IPsec, and we're going to connect phase 1 and phase 2 right here, the first one. And after this, we're going to head to the second PFSense, going to status IPsec. And as you can see here, we have the IPsec connection established. And in the first firewall, we want to check the IPsec IPsec connection have been established successfully. So the last thing we want to do is we want to head to our firewall rules setting, and as you can see a new tab IPsec has been added. Here we're going to define the firewall rules for this IPsec tunnel that we have created. So let's say that we have two servers, server 1 in the following IP address 10.0.15 and server 2 in the following IP address, and we want both of them to connect freely to each other. So server 1 exists in PFsense 1, so we're going to head to PFsense 1. In the IPsec, we're going to add new rule, and we're going to allow connections to this server from server 2. So we're going here, choose action is pass, interface IPsec protocol, I'm going to choose any, and the source I'm going to define the second server, which is 20.0.0.15, and destination is the IP address of this server, and then I'm going to save. Now we have defined it. I want this to be a two-way connection, so I'm going to make the same thing on the second firewall. Let's select any, and now I'm going to allow connection from the 10 network to my server. So now what we just did is that we allowed a two-way connection between these two servers that exist on two different LANs. Now if we're going to test the connection, we're going to head to our first server right here, cmd ipconfig. This server has the following IP address, and we will try to ping on 10.0.0.15 and we see if our connection is working. Our connection is working successfully. Now we're going to head to the second server and test the same settings. So we're going to head to the server ipconfig. Now we'll try to ping on 20.0.0.15, and as you can see, it's working on both connection. So this is how we verify that our IPsec connection is now working successfully.